Rice farmers in Japan are warning of further price hikes. That's even as retail prices fall from record highs, thanks to release of emergency stockpiles to help ease shortages. CNA's Michiyo Ishida with this report.
Kazuyoshi Fujimoto owns a 15-hectare rice farm passed down for generations in Kakogawa City in Japan's major rice-producing region of Hyogo. But he started shifting away from growing rice 2 years ago due to high costs.
田んぼやると機械の投資にすごくお金かかってきますので、一度故障するとまたそれを買い替えるのに、ね、500万600万とかかりますので、いずれはもう田んぼからイチジクに切り替えていこうと思って。
Japan began paying farmers to reduce rice acreage in the 1970s to tackle overproduction and keep prices high. As a result, rice production halved from its peak to less than 7 million tons last year. Though some have also cited poor harvest and a shrinking farming population as factors. Now, targets are still set by the government and influenced by the Japan Agricultural Cooperatives, or JA. An estimated 70% of crops are sold through JA, and the rest to wholesalers, retailers, or straight to consumers. This year, it sent Mr. Fujimoto a flyer offering to buy his rice for at least $80 for every 30 kilograms, about twice as much as last year.
3年前まではずっと価格は一緒でした。はい、もうずっと JA が取引する価格帯というのは毎年一緒で、この 1,2 年前からちょっと値段が上がってきたというか、それも値段が上がったといっても本当にだいたい3割高ぐらいですね。それが今年はゴンと上がったというような感じです。
Here in Nagano, known for its premium rice, some farmers say middlemen are paying even more for their rice. This farm started planting more rice last year in response to the shortage.
去年の前までの値段の約3倍ぐらいの値段がもう業者間で取れる前から事前契約って形で値段が上がってるんですよね。一般の家庭の人たちは約3倍のご飯を食べるしかないじゃないですか。
This spells bad news for consumers. Average retail prices of rice rose to a peak of 4,285 yen, or about $29, for a 5-kilogram pack in May, based on a nationwide survey of supermarkets by the Agriculture Ministry. Many retailers are limiting purchases to 1 pack per household and widening the net in the search for rice.
で僕も産地巡りさせていただいて、農家さんにまだ出せるお米ありませんかっていう話をお聞きして、いただけるものは全部いただいて、普段でしたら、並べてないお米も多々並んでます。逆に普段あるものがないっていう状況ですね。ありがとうございます。
Soaring rice prices are a focal point heading to the July upper house elections. The ruling Liberal Democratic Party has long protected the farm sector, a key support base. But Prime Minister Shigeru Ishida has pledged a shift towards increasing production starting this year and vowed a probe of the distribution system as he faces pressure over soaring prices at home and from the U.S., which wants Japan to import more American rice.
And Michiyo Ishida herself joins us now. Michiyo, given the place of rice, not just in the Japanese diet, but in the very Japanese ethos itself, it's not surprising that many would link this rumpus over rice with what might happen at upper house elections this weekend.
Well, Wei-Su, along with social welfare, rising consumer prices, rice are key issues based on local media survey. For Japan, rice is a staple, but the shock compared to last year, the price of rice basically doubled. And rice has been featured in local media every day since last summer. Now, Taku Endo, who was agriculture minister from the start of the Shigeru Ishida administration last October, was forced to resign after stating in a meeting he never bought rice. He said he has so much, he had enough to sell, and that angered the public. He was forced to resign. And before the gaffe, he said he was releasing reserved rice, but it didn't reach consumers before he stepped down. Then Shinjiro Koizumi, the son of a former prime minister, replaced him. And Mr. Koizumi immediately took action to release reserved rice by awarding retailers with the appropriate facilities to polish the grain and sell. And reserved rice started to appear on supermarket shelves in the week since he took over. And this was well received from the general public. But during the upper house election campaign, some farmers have started to complain consumers stopped buying their freshly harvested rice, which are expensive. And in rural areas, farmers' support is important in this election. And their votes are speculated may not even go to the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. And many media predict ruling coalition will lose the majority in the upper house as one of the reasons.
Oh, Michiyo, to an ignorant mind like myself, an obvious solution would be just to import more rice. And yet you've seen the Prime Minister go up against President Trump in the United States, friction over Japan, according to Mr. Trump, refusing to import more American rice. Why is Japan reluctant to do that?
Okay, let me clarify. One, Japan has been protective of its rice industry traditionally, as it's politically important. So high tariffs have been placed on rice imports beyond the minimum access rule set by the World Trade Organization. And that's 770,000 tons a year. And beyond that, Japan has been importing on the average 700 to 800 tons a year. And last year, it's more than tripled to 3,004 tons. And this year, there's an unprecedented rise of rice imports. For this April alone, rice imports rose to 6,838 tons. That's more than a year's worth. And 80% came from the United States. So here in Japan, many people are questioning why U.S. President Donald Trump continued to say Japan does not import American rice. And to add to that, I actually recently shifted from Japanese branded rice to California rice. Even with tariffs, California rice is 1,000 yen or $67 cheaper for 5 kilograms than Japanese branded rice. But many of my friends, acquaintances still continue to buy Japanese brands. There's a belief Japanese rice is the best, it's safe, and suitable to the dishes you combine with, including raw egg with soy sauce, natto or fermented beans, and restaurants that serve the local cuisine wish to continue to serve Japanese rice, as serving Japanese rice is important to draw customers.
Michiyo, apart from dietary preferences, if Japanese farmers, there are decades of policy disincentivizing farmers to plant more rice, but if they should choose to do so right now, agriculture is not just flipping a switch on and off. How likely are we to see rice harvest increase significantly in the near term?
Well, Shigeru Ishiba government has made it clear that it wants to increase rice harvest. And Agriculture Minister Koizumi announced this week rice harvest is expected to grow by 560,000 tons to 7.35 million tons this year. And in terms of paddy field used, it's expanded the most in 5 years. Now, Japan has had a rice acreage policy in place for 50 years, ending in 2017. And in reality, analysts say acreage was continuing. It's in exchange for subsidies. Analysts say rice growing has slightly expanded this season, not due to government's sudden shift of policy, though, but a voluntary move by the farmers as rice sell for higher prices. And if rice prices go down to what it was 2 years ago, which is what consumers want, the rice farming industry might, ironically, shrink again.
Oh, thanks. CNA's Michiyo Ishida reporting live from Tokyo. We'll see whether this rice issue delivers political pain this weekend.